Hi everyone, I'm Stella CB. I am a health and fitness coach for women in menopause, and I am the host of this Inspire show. And today I have a guest, uh, Fisher. She is a life and mindset coach and a podcast host also. Hi, Cheryl.
Hi, Stella. How are you?
Fine, thanks. How are you?
I'm good. I'm happy to be here.
Tell me, where are you in the world?
I am in Washington, D.C.
Wow. Yeah. Um, Tell me your story. Why are you doing what are you doing now? You are helping women, and I like to know why did you choose this?
Yes, it's been a long path, is what I would say. So I have been a teacher and a trainer for most of my career, but I started my own business on the side many years ago. And when I did that, I realized I had no idea how to be my own boss or feel inspired. I didn't understand how to make big goals and how to believe in myself, all of the mindset pieces. I just realized I did not have it all. Absolutely zero knowledge of it. And that took me down a path to figure out really how important the way we speak to ourselves is and how important it is to take care of ourselves. And eventually, then I became a coach and now host a podcast as well.
Tell me about your podcast.
So, yes, I think we're doing similar things. Mine is called Mind Your Midlife. And the idea is to help midlife women build more confidence, feel confident about creating success and navigate. There's so many challenges during this period, right? We have parents, kids, retirement, uh, everything is changing. So, helping through that.
Yes. And mm, I think it's very important for how we speak to ourselves, our self-talk, and how we speak about ourselves when we speak with someone. What do
Yes.
you think?
It's a huge, huge, huge thing. It's very important. And the way I learned this originally was when I had started this sales business on the side, I was talking to my husband in the kitchen one day, and he said to me, "Why don't you just close it and stop? All you do is complain about it." And I had no idea I was complaining. I didn't realize. He said,
Mhm.
"That's what you do all the time is complain." And I just had no idea. And to this day, that was years ago, I just remember that situation because it just made me realize if I'm putting these words out there all the time that this didn't work out how I wanted it to, or she or he didn't do that I thought they were going to do, or why am I not where I thought I was going to be by now, then I'm also hearing that and it's running inside my head all the
Mhm.
time. And you're nodding. It's so powerful because all the time there's something running inside our head telling us some message about ourselves. And it's that repetition, that's what creates kind of the beliefs we have about ourselves. So if all the time we're saying, I should be so much more successful by now, but I'm not, what's wrong with me? Then eventually we believe something's wrong.
Yes, it's matter what we are saying every day, because if we are saying we are not good enough, or I'm stupid, or I am not enough smart, or anything what we are saying every day, it will stuck here, and our mind will, okay, you are not smart enough.
Mhm.
So we have to change. I always tell to my clients also, believe in yourself and tell things what is good, what you think is good,
Yes.
and always find what is nice around you, what you are appreciate.
Yes.
Uh, and let's let's say if we uh, disappear everything for what we are not uh, grateful,
Right.
then
Yes.
what?
Well, one of my favorite things to say, and I can't take credit for this, someone else said it to me, but I love this quote, is the way we want to go through life is 1 foot in gratitude, 1 foot in desire. And I love that because we want to desire things. We want to grow or have more success or whatever it is, but we can't really get there very well without, just as you said, being grateful for the things that are happening now. And the balance is what helps because otherwise we're always looking at a goal that we don't have and telling ourselves, why don't we have it?
Yes, but if we say, let's say you or anybody else or me, if we watch back, let's say what where we were 5 years ago or 10 years ago, do we have steps? Are we developed?
Hmm.
I'm much better, I think, that I than I was 5 years ago because I learned so much. And we have to celebrate every little step.
Yes, I agree completely. And I think by the time we get to midlife, even if maybe we still want something to change and we want things to be different, there's always going to be something we could find that we succeeded at. There's always going to be something, relationships or a job or something. So if we focus on that and remind ourselves, and again, it's the self-talk, look at this thing that I did. I know I can do more. I know I can do it again. And just building that confidence, even just by speaking that way to ourselves, is really powerful.
Yes, we can celebrate just little things or
Yeah.
just be grateful for little things. Today it was sunshine, so I appreciate that oh, it's so good weather. So I went
Yes.
out to do my workouts outside. So I think it's a little things, but it's make it can make our days better, I think, if we notice the little things, what is good.
Yes. Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. And then I think when we're talking about self-talk, and I kind of said this before, but as an example, sometimes the way we speak to other people, we fall into a habit of complaining a lot. And maybe this doesn't happen to you, but it used to happen to me that in every conversation, we would be saying, oh, the weather's not nice, or oh, there was traffic this morning, or I can't believe what I saw on the news, or and that's how we would talk, just back and forth, complain, 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 and not think about it. But all of that is still going in, and we're focusing on the bad traffic, the bad weather, the bad news, and it just creates a pattern, a habit.
And it's easier if you change the people around you who are always complaining. If you don't speak to them too much and you choose people who also not like you, they don't want to complain, then it's much easier, it's much better. Or let's say I told to my daughters, if I complaining or if I not doing something of or I am doing something weird or something it's not okay, just say me. I it's okay. Just I want to know, because sometimes we don't notice what we are doing or what we are saying. And if my daughter can help me to notice that, and it's
Yes.
so good, we can do it to each other.
Yes. Yes. Noticing is powerful. Yeah, because that's the first step for sure. And I agree with you about thinking about the people we spend time around, because sometimes I think we feel like, well, this is someone we've been friends with forever. And so, I should spend time with them, and they might complain a lot, but they've been my friend forever. And you feel guilty maybe to change that. But it's important to find, they always say we're the sum of the 5 people we spend the most time with. So it's important to find at least that core group of people that do make us feel good about ourselves, and we can do the same for them. Yeah.
Yes, we should change because I think, especially when I get 50, to say, then I wanted to change how to say no,
Mm,
to make my boundaries, because I think I'm much happier. I don't want to please to everyone. I don't want to be people pleaser because it's my life,
yes.
and I think if we have some in our family who complaining always or something, we can still say no, or we can minimal the conversation or something like that, because I think it's much better for us, and this is our life, and we have to prioritize our life, not somebody else.
Exactly. Yes. And I don't know, maybe it gets a little easier to do that as we get older. I don't know, maybe a little bit.
Maybe we
But
appreciate more little things, and in this way we have maybe we feel that is much better for us, and we don't have to feel that guilty or something. I don't
yeah.
what I don't do what I don't want to do.
Yes,
It's so much
exactly.
easier, and it's so much better.
Exactly. And I don't think, I'm glad you said we don't feel guilty. I think we sometimes we do feel guilty, and we have to realize that taking care of ourselves is not a bad thing. And I think now in midlife, maybe we've had enough experiences that we start to get that we need to take care of ourselves, and then we can take care of other people. But if we're not taking care of ourselves, forget it. And I've talked with a number of different health and wellness experts and interviewed them. And I keep always hearing this theme that when you hit midlife, it's not only just we need to take care of ourselves, but we need to maybe even be more careful about what we're doing with our bodies and how we're eating and how we're exercising and all of that. We need, like, even to take a little bit more care now. And
Yeah.
that's okay.
Yes, because when I was 47, I just realized that I had a few excess weight, and they didn't like my belly fat. And I wanted to change that. I said, no, I don't want to look like other women over 40 with belly fat. Always 90% of the women have belly fat.
Yep.
And I didn't want to accept that because I thought it's not me. It's not me. I know I'm changing. I know I'm in menopause, but I wanted to change that. And and I in the beginning it was just because of my belly fat and few excess weight. But um, then I realized when I learned uh, more and more, then I realized don't, I have to do it because of my health,
Yes. Yes.
because what I eat, it's is the most important thing. What I eat and do I move my body? These two
Yes.
things are very important, and I change the goal, and I
Mm-hmm.
know health is. But if we really eat healthy and my program, I call it hormone harmony. How we eat, then our body will get back in the perfect weight.
Yes, I agree. And kind of inside what you were saying is that you had a self-image. You believed that you could be in good shape like you wanted to be. And I think sometimes we get stuck in just listening too much to the stories that I don't know, we see on social media or we read somewhere that say you're always going to have, your stomach's going to always get bigger at this age. There's nothing you can do. Or, you're not going to be able to stay in shape. It's going to be harder. And that doesn't have to be true. It's about what we believe inside about what we can
Yes.
do.
Yes, we believe that doctor said, oh, it's okay, you are in menopause. It's normal. It's normal. You don't sleep well. It's normal. You have hot flashes. It's normal. You gain weight. It's everything normal because they are saying that, and most of the women accepting this.
Right.
But sometimes they feel very awful in their body, but they are accepting it, and they just sometimes want. I reading in some groups, they just want some pills to take and to be good.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they yes they need to change their limiting beliefs about
Right.
what we can do and how we can live and how we can look and how we can feel, because if maybe we have 30 years more,
Right.
how we want to live that
Right.
30 years,
That's a lot.
how we want to live actively, fully, or we want like our grandmothers, grandfather, or great grandfather, because they were weaker and weaker and weaker.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want that. I want to stay strong
Mm-hmm.
till the end. I
Mm-hmm.
will do everything for that, because
Yes.
life, not lifespan, but how we head span is more important. How we live,
Yes.
not how long we will live healthy and energized. And
Yes.
that is, I think, the most important thing. And if they don't think that we can do, then they won't achieve that.
Right.
Somebody
And
believe in it, and
right.
that is the power.
Exactly. And I think the most challenging part is to figure out what those limiting beliefs are because they're buried in there and sometimes we don't recognize it. And so a lot of times what I'll say to a client in this case is, well, if I said to you, you can wear whatever size you want, be whatever fitness level you want, have whatever job you want right now at age 50 or whatever. What do you start thinking when I say that? And that's when they start to recognize that something in their brain is saying, "No, you can't. You'll never be able to lose weight." Or, "No, you can't. Nobody would hire me at age 50." And that's when you start to say, "Oh, where's that coming from?" Because it's hidden in there somewhere that we're
Yes.
telling ourselves we can't do it. But that's not necessarily true. We could if we went for it and we did all the steps and we believed it. But it's catching those that are sneaky.
Yes, but if we think when we were 20 years young, uh, what we thought about women over 50.
Good
Huh?
point.
We thought, oh, they are old.
Yes.
And that is in our mind.
Yes. Yes.
Women over 50 are old. But if we really now dig into social media, we can see that every day it's more and more women who are fit and energized in their 70s, not just in their 50s and 60s, in their 70s.
Yes.
In 70s, they are doing workouts and they are fit and energized, or some of them are doing pole fitness in she's 74. I just saw her. She's 74 and she's winning the championships in
Wow.
74 pole fitness. So we
Right.
are capable, just we have to believe in it that we can change. Not I also started to do pole fitness, but but if somebody would tell me 10 years ago I would do that, I said, oh no, I'm not capable. Oh
Mm.
yes, yes, I am. Because
Yes.
I accepted that I I can be a beginner in something
Mm.
or anything I want. Why? It's not depend on our age. It's depend on our mindset.
Hmm. That's right. And maybe and it's hard to be a beginner when you're not a beginner in life. And so sometimes we don't want to, right? But maybe if we then can tell ourselves, okay, let's just take one little step, or I'll try one new exercise, or I'll go to one new activity, or just small things. Sometimes we can get ourselves moving that way, and it's not quite so big and scary.
Yes, we have to. I always say just little steps. Do little steps. Change one habit at a time, then another, and
Mhm.
stick to another habit. What are you doing every day? Let's say we are washing our teeth every day. Do we like it? It doesn't matter. We are doing it. And every time, let's say, we go to the bathroom, we will do 10 squats. It's about 25 seconds
Ah,
every time. So maybe we will do 60, 70, 80, and we won't feel it, but our body will feel it.
I love that. I
Yes, I doing
love that.
challenges, squat challenges sometimes. So nobody wants to do, let's say, I would somebody to do 50 squats. 50 squats. It's too much. I can't do that. But if I say it will adds up, if you do during the day, every
Mhm.
time you go to the bathroom, then it will be 50, 60, and you won't feel it. It's
Yes.
powerful, I think.
Yes, I agree. I agree. And if we take that same idea and use it for mindset and self-talk, what if once a day you put a reminder in your phone that said pause or something like that, and you pause and you just ask yourself, what is running around in my head right now? How am I
Mm.
feeling? What's talking in there? And just notice it and start to get in the habit, even once a day, of noticing that, and then maybe a little more, a little more. We're going to start to catch things where we say, what? Why was I telling myself that this was going to be terrible? That doesn't make any sense. And and when we notice, then we can flip it to something else. So even starting small with that is powerful.
Yes, and maybe not just once a day, because if also we washing our teeth, we can also during that 1 minute or 2 minutes, we can also think about these things.
Yes.
What what our mind our what are we are saying all day. We can say that this will be my it will be a beautiful day. I won't say nothing negative things or anything. So we have time. We have some good positive
Right.
sentences we can put in our mind, I think.
Yes. And when I was trying to stop complaining all the time, there was a period of time when I felt like I almost didn't know what to say to anyone. I I I would start to be able to stop myself from complain about the traffic and the weather, But then for a little while, I I didn't know what to say. I couldn't think of anything to say. So I figured it out and I learned how to have a conversation about something different. And, we all have bad days, of course, but most of the time I know how to talk about something different, but it wasn't easy at first. And so I would also say be kind to yourself
Mhm.
if it's hard or if you're not sure you can actually change the habit because sometimes it does take practice and it takes time.
Yes, yeah, sure. It's depend, but sometimes I think I heard that they say 3 weeks. You need 3 weeks, but it's not enough. It's three
Hmm.
months
Hmm.
because if my when I started to do workouts at home, then then I in the beginning it was yes, I have to do my workouts. I have to do my workouts. But with time, after 3 or 4 months, when I was just laying and uh, watch TV or something, then my mind said to me, "You didn't work out today." That is that what we want. That our mind
Yes.
to know that it's because it's missing it because we are doing that every day. So it become our habit. That is the habit, I
Yes.
think. Because
Yes.
when we don't wash our feet and we go to sleep and I didn't sleep. I can't sleep because I didn't wash my feet. So it has to be the same with anything what we with any habit we want.
Yes. Yes. And I appreciate you saying that it could be 3 months because I think people do need to hear that because a lot of times we go 3 weeks or maybe a little bit more and we're not quite doing it yet and we keep forgetting and then we get upset with ourselves. And then we're kind of back on the negative self-talk. Well, I tried, I couldn't do it. It's
Mhm.
me, I couldn't do it. So giving ourselves more time and more grace is powerful. Yeah.
We have to because sometimes it depends on the person. Sometimes it's 3 months is not enough
Hmm.
to ingrain that we have that
Hmm.
new habit in our mind. Sometimes for some people it's 4 or 5 or 6 months.
Hmm.
I
And
heard
if
that
you,
John SRF when told about that somebody want to make a new habit. He give him just one habit to do 6 months, nothing else, just one new habit. It's a
yeah,
long time to change then something, but I think really we need more than 3 months.
yeah,
3 weeks, it's
right,
minimum 3 months. Yeah.
right. Yeah, and if you think about it, some of our habits of thinking and the things that we're always telling ourselves have been there for 40 years, maybe for a long time. It's something maybe from childhood or from when we were a teenager. And now that message about what we, whether we're smart or whether we're pretty or whether we have a good body or whatever it is, it's been in there for maybe 30 or 40 years. It does take time to catch that
Yes.
and then switch it. Yeah.
Yes. But and I noticed that most of the people they they actually don't want to change. They complaining, but they don't want to do anything about that.
Hmm.
And but our world is changing, so we have to change with world, or we won't feel good. We
Hmm.
have to learn new things. We have to do new things because that is life. Life is not
Yes,
stable. It's always changing our world, and we have to change with it.
absolutely. And I think another time where we get caught in complaining a little bit more than we should is sometimes I think we actually do it to make the other person feel better. And maybe we don't realize we're doing this, but subconsciously, if we can see someone might be having a bad day, well, then we're going to talk about also what was wrong with our day. And we think it's going to help because we don't want to brag and say we had a great day if they're having a bad day. So we just join in, but it doesn't, it ends up just the level of, I don't even know what the word is. The level of the conversation just keeps going lower and lower and lower and lower if we
Oh,
do
yeah.
that. And I think recognizing that maybe that is our tendency when we're trying to make someone feel better by putting ourselves down, maybe, then we can again start to say, well, what could we do? Maybe we just say, I'm so sorry. That's been a tough day for you. And then let them talk a little bit, and then maybe we can end up talking about something else, and we don't have to just kind of get into this complaint back and forth. It depends on the situation, but that's another time that I think it's really important to recognize it.
Yes, and sometimes we can, let's say, ask them, what was the best thing
Hmm.
what you feel that this day
Hmm.
today, or what was little thing you enjoyed really, because it has to be something what was good.
Hmm.
Or
Hmm.
sometimes when people were complaining about traffic, I said, oh, few days ago I was always also in a big traffic, but I listening to music, and I started to dance. Who cares? I feel good, not just to complaining. If I were just complaining, it wouldn't change anything.
Yeah.
So what can I do with my time then? I can listening
Hmm.
to my favorite music, or I can listening podcast. So
Hmm.
I can feel good, and I wouldn't waste my time, and I feel good.
Right.
So it's always something we can do, I
Yes.
think,
Yes.
to lift up
And
ourselves.
you're right. Yeah. And we do have to decide to do that. Sometimes we don't want to, right? Sometimes we just want to just be annoyed or just feel bad for a little while, and that's okay because I don't want people to think that we're saying that you shouldn't feel your emotions. You should feel your emotions, of course. And then also maybe catch ourselves when we're just kind of staying there and we're just wallowing in it.
Yeah, that's the problem. That if
Hmm.
we say just that's happened and but we are going down, 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 and that
Right.
we have to stay on that level. That okay, it wasn't a good day. It was that and that, but today is the new day, and I will
Right.
feel better,
Right.
or something like
Exactly.
that. I think,
Yeah.
yeah.
Hmm.
um, what is if you could go back in time and you could change something? Would you change anything?
Ooh, that's a good question. It's interesting. There have been situations where maybe I feel like I could have handled that situation better or something like that. But if I look at my path to get where I am now, I don't know that I would change anything because I don't know if I would be here. I can see how it
Hmm?
all kind of made sense to get me here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if you could just go back and give advice to your younger self.
Ooh. I would definitely tell her to speak up more and to know that when she felt like she had something to say that was correct or useful, she was probably right because I was much more shy when I was younger. And even when I had an idea or something, I didn't usually say it. And I worried a lot about what would people think if I gave this idea. And I would tell her to just let all that worry go.
Yeah, it's, I think most of us were shy, shiny. Yeah. Um, And what is your message to my listener?
I I'm gonna say that in midlife, we get this cool opportunity to be so much more confident in ourselves because maybe we don't worry about what other people think as much. And also to be kinder to ourselves because when medical things happen or something is sore or our bodies change a little bit, all we need to do is just be a little bit kinder to ourselves in the way we speak to ourselves, or even just the way we treat our bodies, as we were talking about before, how we eat, all of that. And it makes a difference. So I think it's a great time because we get to do what we want. And all we need to do is just be kind to ourselves. Just give ourselves a little bit of extra care.
Yes, yes, it's true. Thank you so much.
Thank
It was a
you.
great conversation.
I enjoyed it. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming. Bye.
Bye.